Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a first impressions on a bunch of new products that I actually picked up at Target. I do have a couple of new products that I didn't purchase at Target, and I do want to show you those today, but for the most part, most of this stuff I did buy at Target. So Target recently added the Winky Luxe line to their stores, and so I went ahead and picked up a few items from Winky Luxe. I picked up a concealer, I also picked up a bronzer, and I picked up two eyeshadow palettes. These eyeshadow palettes were so beautiful when I saw them in store. I didn't swatch anything there because at that time, Target did not have any palettes where you were able to swatch them. So I went ahead and just picked up two that I really liked. I know they had like maybe 4 on display, but I picked up 2 of them. And then I picked up some items from the No. 7 line. I picked up a Lift and Luminate Triple Action Powder. I also picked up a bronzer from them. I picked up a foundation. So I have quite a few things to show you guys today. I'm really excited to use the Winky Luxe stuff because I've never really tried anything from them. I think maybe one time I was gonna buy one of their lip balms, but I just didn't. So yeah, I'm really excited to try some of this stuff from them. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and dive into it. Let me start with the Milk Makeup Hydro Primer. I am gonna put that on the perimeter of my face. Of course, for my T-zone, I'm going in with the e.l.f. Matte Putty Primer. I am going in with a different eye primer today. I'm going in with the Revolution Pro Eye Elements in Central. This is one of my favorite eye primers from the drugstore, but I hadn't really used it since I started using the e.l.f. Rose one. So I want to go ahead and use this one today. This one is super, super creamy compared to the Rose one. And I really love it because it does spread on the eye very easily. And this one really makes my shadows last as well. So for eyeshadow palettes, I am going into these new Winky Luxe eyeshadow palettes that I bought. One is in Cashmere Kitten and the other one is in Coffee Kitten palette. Now this one has the scent of coffee, so I'm really excited to try this one because I love coffee and I really want to see if that one really smells like coffee. But I am going to show you both of them. I do want you to see the packaging. Look how cute that packaging is. So the packaging does have kittens on the front. On the back, it has the shades and the shade names. The packaging itself is a cardboard packaging that also has the shades and the shade names on the back. And then it comes with a mirror, and these are the actual shades here. These are just really beautiful, like romantic shades to me. I call them romantic because they're really like soft mauve tones, just in those light, very soft purple shades. So I really, really like this one. This one is gonna be great for everyday use. And the next one I picked up is the Coffee Kitten palette. This is the outside packaging here. And on the back, of course, it has the shades and the shade names. This one actually has like kittens inside coffee cups. Isn't that cute? And the packaging itself also has the same design, as you can see. And then these are the shades here. Just really beautiful neutral tone shades. So what I think I'm gonna do is go ahead and use both of them because I do wanna see how the color payoff is, what the blendability is like, you know, how the application is. So I want to use both of them just to test them both out to see how they perform. So I wanted to go ahead and smell this one, the Cafe, what is this one? The Coffee Kitten palette. It does smell like coffee. It's not a strong coffee scent, but I can smell coffee in it. It smells good. So let's go ahead and go in with this palette. I'm going to use this shade right here. It's called Affogato, and I'm going to actually just place that all over to set that primer. And I'm using the Sonia G Blender Pro. This is a little bit darker than I thought, but that's okay, we're just gonna work with it. I am gonna go into Cappuccino, and I'm gonna use that in my crease. That's coming off a little lighter than I expected, but it still looks really nice as a transition shade. Okay, that isn't bad at all. Let me see, what shade do I want to go in next? I'm going to use this same brush, and I'm going to go into the Cashmere palette, and I'm going to go into the shade Penelope, and I'm going to put that in my crease. Okay, that looks really nice. That has nice pigmentation to it. And I actually thought this one was gonna come off just a little bit lighter, but it's perfect. Okay, that blended really nicely with that last shade. They do have a little kickback, but not a lot. So they're not like super powdery or anything. So now I'm gonna go into the shade Prowl. I'm going into the Classic Crease by Sonia G. And I'm just gonna go into that really pretty eggplant shade and just put that on the outer corner and into the crease. Okay, so when I'm putting it on the corner here, the powder keeps kicking up and going on top here, so I'm having to kind of wipe it off with my finger. Yeah, it looks kind of splotchy right here with this shade. I'm gonna go ahead and try to blend that in. Okay, I don't know. That eggplant didn't work as well as I thought it would. It's just really hard to blend right there on the edges. I'm gonna go back into the Coffee palette and I'm using a MAC 242. I'm gonna go into this shade right here called Frappe. I'm just gonna press that on the lid. I thought it was gonna be a little bit more intense. So I'm gonna spray my brush with a little bit of MAC Fix Plus and see what it does and see if that changes the intensity. Yeah, that's better. It's way better when the brush is wet. Sometimes people feel like that's too much work to have to wet your brush, which I totally understand, because if you're trying to use a palette like on a daily basis, you're using it to get ready for work, or you know, when you're always on the go, you don't have time to really wet your brush and, you know, get all specific with your eyeshadow. You just want something quick and easy to get out the door with. So totally understand that. But I did that so I could see if I could get a little bit more pigmentation with that shadow. And I did. It looks good. Now, I will say that when it is wet, it's very hard to kind of blend it into that shadow, that eggplant shadow. And it might just be the fact that that eggplant shadow was really hard to blend. So it takes a little bit of work, but it still looks really beautiful on the eye. It's just really hard to get that shadow to blend into that eggplant shadow. I want to go ahead and deepen up that area because it looks kind of like skipped right here and very splotchy. I am going to go into the Cashmere palette and I'm going to go into that shade right there called Grumpy. I'm using the Sonia G Builder Pro and I'm going to just pat that on the corner to kind of deepen it up. And this shade is not as dark as I thought it was going to be. Okay, so we're just going to leave the eyes like that. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my foundation. I am using the number 7 Protect and Perfect Advanced All-in-One Foundation. This is in the shade Deeply Honey. This is what the packaging looks like. This foundation actually has SPF 50. So I would kind of compare it to kind of like the It Cosmetics CC cream, because I think most of those have SPF 50 in them. This is said to be hydrating and age defying. It has a medium coverage and it also has SPF 50 and it's suitable for sensitive skin. So this is what the packaging looks like. It is 1 fluid ounce of product. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go in with this. I am gonna go in with my Tati Beauty Blendiful. So I'm gonna squeeze just a little bit. It is a squeezy tube and it's fairly thick. It's not runny at all. I'm just gonna dab this on my face. This is a very dark shade. I will say they didn't have a big shade range of this, but I saw it and I thought, why not try it, because it might be something that I could use for the summer. I have tried the It Cosmetics CC creams, the one that I'm comparing this to. I have tried like the luminous one and the regular one. I know they just came out with the matte one, but I haven't actually purchased it. But I do want to try it because I want to give it a shot since it is matte and I could probably use it for the summer. So I'm going to go ahead and just use the edge here to spread this. The color looks really intense when I put it on, but now that I'm spreading it around, it doesn't look too bad. I am going to put a little bit more on because I want to build it up. So with the Blendiful, I'm getting a really like medium coverage. So it's not full coverage or even a high medium coverage. So what I want to do is, I'm curious to see how it would look with a brush or a beauty sponge. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a brush and grab a beauty sponge because I'm just curious to see how much coverage I can get from those tools. So let me get those and I'll be right back. Okay, I grabbed my Wet n Wild sponge and I'm also gonna use the Zoeva buffer brush. I'm gonna go ahead and use the sponge on this side just to see if I can get more coverage. So I am getting a tad bit more coverage. It's not like a big difference, but it does look like I'm getting a little bit more on this side. So now I'm gonna go in with a little bit more because I wanna see what the brush does. And the brush gave me more coverage than the sponge or the Blendiful. So I think I'm gonna stick with the brush with this foundation. And I'm gonna go in to build it up to as full coverage as I can get it. Now I will say that it feels very lightweight on the skin and it does have like a glow to it, kind of a natural glow. It doesn't look like too dewy or like oily or anything like that. It just has a really pretty finish to it. And yeah, I love the way the brush applies this. I'm just gonna take it down my neck, get it all even. And on my ears. My ears are a little bit red because it is warm in here. And I don't know if it's the candle or if it's the lights because it's like 80 degrees outside today. So it could be a combination of all of that. Okay guys, I'm really impressed with it. I think it looks really beautiful on the skin. It has a very nice glow to it. Doesn't feel greasy, doesn't feel heavy. Feels really light even though I put all of those layers on. So we're gonna go ahead and skip into concealer. For concealer today, I'm gonna go in with the Winky Luxe Full Coverage Under Eye Concealer. I have mine in the shade Light Medium. This is the packaging here. Really pretty packaging, just like the eyeshadow palettes. This is what the concealer looks like. I'm really surprised because I thought it was gonna be like a tube and not like a squeezy tube. So let me see if there's a wand. Nope, there's not a wand. It's like a squeezy tube. So we're gonna go ahead and add a little bit of this on my under eyes. This is what it looks like. The consistency is very, very thick. So I don't know if this is going to be emollient on the under eyes. It feels pretty creamy. So I'm going to just dab it just like that. And I'm going to use my Tati Blendiful to blend that out. That has pretty good coverage. So I was afraid that it wasn't going to be very full coverage. But honestly, it's given really, really good coverage. What I actually placed on the back of my hand, I actually used for this entire eye. And it doesn't feel or seem like I used too much. I'm actually gonna go in with just a little bit more. And not that I need it, to be honest, but I just want, I don't know why I want a little bit more. I'm used to having a little bit more under there, so I'm gonna go ahead and tap that into my under eye. Yeah, that is a very pretty concealer. It's not very brightening, but it might just be the fact that I got the light medium and it is a little bit darker than what I expected. I still think it looks gorgeous. I do want to put a little bit here where I normally highlight. That looks really nice. I'm reading the box and it says it's full coverage formula with hyaluronic acid and collagen, creates a brighter, more awake under eye effect, hydrates and protects delicate skin, plumps and improves elasticity. So it has some really good claims to it. The older we get, the more lines we get under our eyes, the more wrinkles we get. And this is supposed to help like improve that. So yeah, I'm all for that. So I'm hoping that this concealer will work for me and it'll stay put. Okay, I did go in with my Tarte Shape Tape in Tan. And I used that all over like hyperpigmentation and other areas where I wanted more concealment. So now I'm gonna go ahead and powder my skin. I do have this Lift and Luminate Triple Action Finishing Powder in the shade Medium, and this is by No. 7. I actually purchased the No. 7 brand because there was a sale at Target. I think it was like buy one, get one half off, if I'm not mistaken. So I went ahead and bought some products from them. But this is the packaging here. To me, number 7 seems like it has really beautiful, luxurious packaging for drugstore products. It just looks really beautiful and luxurious. It has a very nice mirror inside, and then this is the powder itself. Like I said, this is the shade medium. I think they have a light and a translucent. So I'm just going to go ahead and press this into the skin. That looks really pretty on top of that foundation. So I have 2 bronzers that I purchased, one by number 7 and one by Winky Lux. And because I've never tried the Winky Lux brand, I want to go ahead and use that one today. I think I have purchased the number 7 bronzer in the past, but I think it was only when they had like a lighter shade, and now this one is a little bit darker. This is actually caramel, but I want to try the Winky Lux. This is what the packaging looks like. Really pretty gold packaging. And then it comes with a mirror, and then this is the bronzer. So yeah, so I'm hoping this will work on me. I'm using this Japanese brush. It's like a pointed, tapered powder brush. This one has like a coffee smell too. Oh, it's actually Mocha. Yeah, it's the coffee bronzer. So it does smell like coffee, just like the eyeshadows. I'm just gonna put that all over. Okay, so it is a beautiful bronzer. It blended into my skin really well. It doesn't look splotchy or anything like that. So yeah, so far that looks pretty good. So I haven't set my under eyes yet, and I do want to set it with this Morphe Bacon Set Setting Powder. This is in the shade Brightening Pink. I've never used their brightening powder before that I can think of. I have used one of their powders to actually set my under eyes. I think it was just an all-over setting powder, and I really didn't like it for that. So I'm hoping that I'll like this one for my under eyes. That looks really nice and smooth. Guys, I really like this. It looks so nice and bright and so smooth under the eye. I'm super impressed with that brightening powder. So for blush, I am gonna go in with one of these Glow Play blushes by MAC. I have 2 of them, but I purchased 2 more. I purchased So Natural and Grand. These are the shades here. I think today I'm gonna go in with So Natural because that's the one I've been wanting to try. I do love these blushes. I did mention them in my February favorites. So these aren't new to me, but the shades are new. So I wanna go ahead and use the So Natural. I'm gonna go in with this e.l.f. blush brush, and I'm just going to dip my brush in there, just place it on my cheeks. So this is a very, very light natural blush, which I love because you can use this like with any eye look and not like be too overpowering when it comes to blush. Now there is a natural glow to this blush, which I love as well. But yeah, I really like this So Natural color. So I don't have a new highlighter, but I did purchase this NYX High Glass Finishing Powder. This is what it looks like. I don't know if they sell this at Target. I'm pretty sure they do because they sell NYX there. But I actually bought this one at Ulta. So I am going to use this one on the perimeters of my face. So I'm going to use this brush that I have from Real Techniques, and I'm just going to go into the powder. And I'm just going to put that on the perimeters of my face. And then a little bit on my nose, above my lip. Look at that glow. I know I already had a glow before, but this just added some really nice soft glow to the high points of my face. And it's just absolutely beautiful. I love it. I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows really quickly. I don't have a new brow pencil, but I'm gonna do my brows with my Chanel pencil, and then I'll come right back and we'll do lips. Okay, so brows are done. I am gonna go in with the Sephora Clear Brow Gel because this stuff has been really, really nice on my brows and making them stay in place. It's not one of those products that's real crunchy. You know how sometimes your brows get really crunchy and they flake? This does not do that. And this stuff is really inexpensive. All right, so that's done. So I did purchase some lip liners from LA Girl, and I also purchased some lipsticks. They actually had a sale at Ulta, and again, it was buy one, get one half off. I purchased 6 liners from them, and then I also purchased 2 lipsticks. The liners that I purchased were Bare, Cafe, Flesh. I think I already have Flesh too, but these are really good. So you can't beat buy one, get one half off. Nonstop Nude, Keep It Spicy. This is actually the one that I really wanted. And then I got another Keep It Spicy. So this one I'll put in a giveaway that I'll be having here pretty soon. So I'll just save that for that. And then I purchased 2 lipsticks from them. And these are actually new to the line. Their packaging is really cute. They have lips on the top. Kind of like, what is that packaging that I saw? It has lips at the top. I think Makeup Revolution had some like that. I didn't really care for those lipsticks because they were very drying. But the shades that I purchased in this one are Nude and Cutie. So Cutie is more of like pinky mauve, and Nude is actually a very nude shade, kind of like a peachy nude. But I want to show you something about these lipsticks. Look at this. They have a magnetic closure, which I thought was really cool, especially for a drugstore lipstick. You never really see that, so I thought that was pretty neat. So today I'm going to use Cutie. I'm going to go in with Nonstop Nude. I'm going to line my lips. Ooh, I like that nude. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with Cutie. This is like a really pretty pinky rose shade. I don't feel like it goes really well with this eye look. I don't know, guys. What do you think? I'm going to have to try the nude lipstick. Okay, I am going to go in with this shade Cafe. Okay, this one is so much better with this look. I love this shade. I do want to top this lipstick off with the NYX Butter Gloss. This one's in the shade Fortune Cookie. I'm sure you guys have all seen this. I saw these on a display at Ulta and I was like, I've got to pick one of those up. I used to have these in my collection and of course they went bad and I had to get rid of them, but I really did love them. So I went ahead and picked up just one, and that's the Fortune Cookie one, and I'm going to go over my lipstick with this. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. Love the way these feel on the lips because they feel very moisturizing and they're not sticky at all. They feel really nice and silky on the lips. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and take my hair down and then I'm going to come back. We're going to finish this video up and I'm going to give you my thoughts of these products. Okay guys, I'm back. I do want to put on one last product and it's the Marc Jacobs Glow Away Bronzing Coconut Body Stick. I purchased this in the shade Tantric. This is what the packaging looks like. I actually saw this on his website. And when I saw the product on the models, I thought it looked so beautiful. So I went ahead and purchased it. It looks like this. It looks like a deodorant type product, but it is a bronzing stick and the top screws off. It has a very faint coconut scent. It's not too strong, but this is what it looks like. And I'm gonna put a little bit on the back of my hand so you can see how bronze it is. It is super bronzy. So what I'm gonna do is I need to get a brush to actually apply this. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this stippling brush from Up and Up by Target. I'm gonna go into the product and then I'm just going to put this on my chest. Really focusing it on the collarbone area just to give me that glow. And I am going to put some on the neck so that everything will blend in. It's so pretty. I know they have like 3 shades. One is a light and then a medium and then a dark. So I actually purchased the medium one. This brush is blending it really nicely. You could also just go in like with your fingers and just kind of rub it on your skin. It's not greasy. It feels like it is a cream to powder formula. See, it looks really glowy on the skin. I'm gonna put some on my shoulder. Maybe easier to do it with the brush here because I don't remember a brush actually coming with it, but even if it did, most of the time I don't buy the brushes that come with the products. I usually use what I have. So I'm gonna pull back a little bit so you guys can see that glow. Look how pretty that is. my gosh, I love it. I love it. I love the way it looks on the skin. This is my first time using it, and it's just gorgeous. So pretty, especially on the shoulder. I'm not really sure if this is transfer proof or transfer resistant. I will list it right here if it is. But yeah, this is such a beautiful product on the skin. I'm so excited about this for the summer because it just looks so healthy and glowy. I just love it. Okay, so now let's go ahead and go over the products that I used today. Let's start with foundation because this foundation is really beautiful on the skin. I really feel like it gave pretty good coverage. It's not high coverage, but it's a good medium coverage, and I actually think that I could work with it. You guys know I always put on a concealer to cover up imperfections, so that's nothing new, but I really like this foundation, guys. I think this is going to be perfect for the summer. It does have a nice glow to it. It's not dewy, but it's glowy, if that makes any sense. And it doesn't feel very heavy on the skin. It's very lightweight. So because of that, I think it's going to be a great foundation for the summer. I will say that the Lift and Luminate powder that I used on top of it made it even more glowy. If you're not looking for a glowy finished look, then I would use a powder that's a little bit more on the satin or matte side. I wouldn't use the Lift and Luminate because that does add some glow to it. But I will say that I love the way my skin looks with that Lift and Luminate and this foundation. I think the two go hand in hand. So I really hope that this foundation works for me throughout the day. I'm not wearing it all day today because I kind of started late today. I actually started like around 4:30. So it is getting late outside, and I know that I'm not going to wear this for more than maybe 5 hours. But I am going to test it tomorrow and wear it all day. So I can put in the description box whether it worked for me all day or not. But I'm really hoping it does because that SPF 50 is what really got me with this foundation. You guys know I love to wear sunblock, sunscreen. You know, I need it, especially with the hyperpigmentation, so this is right up my alley. So I want to talk about the Lift and Luminate. I do think this is a beautiful, beautiful powder. Like I said, it goes hand in hand with that foundation. I will say that even if you don't use that foundation, I think this is going to be a really nice powder to give you kind of that luminous look to your skin without making it look greasy or like too shiny or too glowy. It has a glow essence to it. So it's not too strong, but I love it. I think it looks beautiful. I'm just like in awe of the look that it gave that foundation. So yeah, so far so good with this for first impressions. I will be using it with other foundations to see how it works with those. But yeah, with this one, worked perfect. So for the Winky Luxe bronzer, at first I honestly thought that this was gonna go on really light and that it wasn't gonna give my skin that bronzing effect. But it did. It does look really bronzy, as you can tell. I mean, it looks like super bronzy in the viewfinder. And when I'm looking in the mirror, it does look nice and bronzy, but it doesn't look like orange or it doesn't look like too warm. It just looks like a really nice beach bronze look. So far, this looks really good on my skin. I will try it again with other foundations, other powders, but so far this is pretty good. For the Winky Luxe shadow palettes, I like these, but I'm not like super impressed with these. These were pretty pricey for drugstore brand. I don't know if this is actually a drugstore brand per se, but if it's in Target, I'm assuming that it's more on the drugstore brand side. But I don't know. I liked them. I felt like I had to work a lot with the eggplant shade that was in the Cashmere Kitty palette. I really felt like I had to just like work it in there. I felt like it was just getting a little bit splotchy on the edges. As for the other shades, I mean, they were nice, but it's not something that like was super impressive to me. I think the eyeshadow look came out pretty, but I also think that I can get this look with an e.l.f. palette that I use. I think it's the Rose Water palette. I think I can get that same look with that palette, and that palette's only, what, like $3? So yeah, I'm just not really fond of these. I think that they are good palettes, but I don't think that they're great palettes, and I don't think you're missing out on anything if you don't pick these palettes up. If you do like these palettes and they work for you, that's awesome. But for me, I just wasn't too like impressed with them. So Anyway, for the concealer, I am super impressed with this concealer. I think it looks super beautiful and full coverage on the under eyes. A little bit goes a long way. I don't feel like it was too thick under the eyes. I felt like it was very creamy, and it wasn't too emollient. It was just, you know, it was just right. I think it blended well with the Tati Blendiful, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna blend well with the sponge. So yeah, I'm gonna continue to use this, continue to see how it stays on the eyes, to see if it creases or it cakes up. But so far, so good with this. And also, guys, I will say it feels really hydrating under the eyes too. And I need that because I do have dry under eyes. And then I want to mention the Morphe powder. Guys, I really like this powder for my under eyes. I feel like it brightened up that concealer. I will use it with other concealers that I love, like my Giorgio Armani, my Hourglass Vanish, and then some other drugstore concealers that I love. But yeah, so far this brightening pink looks really nice on the under eyes. I think it looks really super, super smooth. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I just love it. I think it's like a great setting powder. So like I said, I don't think I've used the brightening pink. I think I've used another one. I got this idea from a YouTuber named Lisa, and she loved it. She actually mixes it with her Laura Mercier translucent setting powder because she said this alone just didn't do well on her under eyes. But for me, it looks seamless. I love it. And yeah, I'm going to continue to work with it. For the LA Girl lipsticks, I do love these lipsticks. I think that they're creamy and they feel really good on the lips. And I love the fact that it has that magnetic closure. I think that that is super cool. But this nude shade, guys, this nude shade, you guys have to get this. It is like the perfect nude on my lips. So yeah, so I really like these. The LA Girl lip liners, I've tried those before. I do love them. Yeah, I just went in and picked them up because they were on sale, and you can't beat that because these are already cheap to begin with. And then when you get that 50% off, you can't go wrong with it. Then for the NYX Butter Gloss, I just realized that I really miss these butter glosses. They look so beautiful on the lips, and they just give this really pretty like glossiness to your lips, and they feel moisturizing. They're not sticky, and they don't feel tacky or anything. And when you press your lips together, you don't have that, you know, like that stringy gloss between your lips. So I really like the fortune cookie one. I am going to pick up a couple more. I'm not going to go crazy and pick up all the colors, but for sure I'm going to pick up a couple more because these are so good. For the NYX High Glass, love this. This just added like that really beautiful highlight that's not too like strong and it's not too light. It's just like right in the middle where it gives a beautiful like luminous look to the skin. So yeah, I'm going to be trying this without a glowy powder or, you know, glowy makeup. I just want to try this on a look where I do like a matte foundation and like a really soft matte powder. This would be beautiful over that. So love this. And then for the MAC So Natural blush, guys, that blush is gorgeous. It leaves a very faint nude shade to the skin, and I think this shade is going to go with like any look that you come up with. So yeah, I think that's it for this first impressions. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we will talk to you on the next one.